Do you know you can use it to develop your lovemaking game to avoid being called that 1 minute man? They always say it's harmful, it's not good for you mentally, and a bunch of all that. But I assure you, I used it personally and it worked for me. Hi, I'm Danny Frank, the only man that will tell you frankly what you need to do. I'm the author of a book called The Natural Sex Iron Man. It's on Amazon KDP. And see, there's a link that you would see in the comment section that you can watch it and see how it can develop your bed games in every aspect to talk about your health, your feeding, exercises that you can do, and all that. But for now, on this particular video, I would like to talk about how you use porn to develop your sexual, or should I say, your bed game to avoid being called that 1 minute man. 'Cause I don't want no 1 minute man. Every single man has a basic problem. Sight attracts a man. You know, there are several men that when they see a woman of their type, maybe big butt, big shape, or big boobs, they get really excited. The fastest way for a man to come is when he gets overly excited. I know that, of course, because I am a man. So what did I do? I had the option, two choices. Either I continue sleeping with much more women until I got used to different shapes, sizes, months, and all that, or I could take the safer route to avoid myself being called a 1 minute man and watch corn. A lot of you men know when you watch corn, you actually do masturbate to it because you feel like you're the person in the video making love to this very woman that you're seeing. So what did I do to develop myself? And this is what I write in my book. And if you read that book, it's really going to help you as well. So, but I'm going to tell you about this just to help you. You know, first thing you're going to do is get the kind of corn you know you like to watch. If you're straight, if you're gay, hopefully you're not pedophiles anyway. So you get a kind of corn that you like. Sleep yourself down naked. Don't have a single thing on you. Why? It's to help you feel like you're the person in the video doing what you see the other guy doing. And then throughout you're watching the con, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have 2 different days for this exercise. Day one, you make sure you do not have an erection while you're watching this con. Yeah, I know it's going to be extremely hard. It's going to be extremely hard to watch what you like and maybe something you're used to masturbating to. By the end of it, you can't have an erection too. I know that's going to be very hard for you, but trust me, this is what I did to develop my lovemaking game to avoid me from being called 1 minute man. I watched this con on day one and I made sure I didn't have an erection. Whenever I was having an erection, I would think of something that would upset me. First thing I'll think about is the embarrassment of being a 1 minute man. And whenever I did that, all you have to do is to make sure each time you watch this very con and you're about to have an erection, you find a way to mentally kill it off. Now, this might sound like it's really hard, but it's not hard if you're dedicated to it. And then the day two of your watching con, allow yourself to have an arousal. But please, here is one thing you should never do. Do not masturbate. Now, this is going to sound quite strange why I would say there should be a day one for no erections and day two for erections. Now, I'm going to tell you why. If you get used to watching porn without having an erection, it's going to affect you in your everyday life. Now, let me tell you how these things work. Imagine yourself like, you know what goes on in Hollywood these days? We talk about alternate universes and reality. Now, imagine every time you watch corn, you're in a different universe. And when you're not watching corn, when you're actually making love to a woman, you're in reality. So whenever you're watching corn, you're in different reality and you have to control yourself from having that erection. Now, the next day or day two, when you're watching corn, you're in reality and you can have the erection. If you do not do this, you're going to put yourself in this situation that mentally you become rigid. Um, you even when a lady is actually with you in bed, you realize that having an erection will be hard for you. You've trained yourself not to be able to have an erection even when you see something that's sexually pleasing. So you need to have the day one to learn how to be in total control, and then the day two to allow yourself to be human. And then with this kind of activity, you make yourself mentally iron. And by the time you're actually making love to a real woman, Number one, even if she's your type, she has the right curve, she has the right butt, or you're doing a position that you normally like, you don't get overly excited because you've been through this. In the other reality, you've trained yourself not to get overly excited about it, and then you're in control. Um, Now, like I said, this is something I personally learned on my own. I wasn't trained this by any psychologist. Neither did I see this online or learn this anywhere. But this is something I personally trained myself to do, and it has really, really worked for me. And as a person, I've had like up to 9 to 10 clients that I work with, and I've experimented this very exercise I'm telling you to do, and it has really worked for them. So I know this might sound kind of funny. This might sound kind of like something you've not heard before, but I assure you, if you do this exercise, day one, do not allow yourself to have an erection, and then day two, have your erection, but under the law, do not masturbate. You're gonna learn not to get overly excited when you get in bed with your kind of woman. No matter how shapy she is, no matter how big her butt is, no matter how she yells and screams, you would be in total control, and you will realize you finally been able to cross that point that anybody will call you a
Oh,
so this is something I just thought I should put it out there because every time I go online I check about porn about corn. You know what I mean? Anytime I check about it, you keep hearing this thing is totally negative. Yeah, I agree. It could be negative totally for the actors in it because a lot of times are involved. There's a lot of negative experiences they have that we are not let to know about it due to the final edit and the cuts. But trust me when I tell you, if you use this exercise, you wouldn't get overly excited. And once again, I'm gonna say it. I have my book on Amazon KDP, which is titled "The Sex Iron Man." It's a book that I tell people my personal experiences, how I trained myself personally, and health precautions that I took to make me a better person in bed and to prolong your sexual life. Because you do know that as a man, as you get older, your physical strength, your biological ability to be able to maintain erections get harder. But if you read this book of mine, you're going to be in a better position in love making. And even if you're in your 50s, in your 60s, you can, make love to someone in your 20s and she'll be like, yeah, you're the man. So go on, read my book on Amazon KDP. See you later. I'm Danny Frank, the only man that will tell you frankly what you need to do. See you next time. Also, if you enjoy what I talk about and how I talk about it, do subscribe to my channel, like and share. See you the next time.